At 5:20 a.m., you turn off your first alarm, the one that's supposed to get you out of deep sleep. At 5:40, you turn off your second one, the one that you're supposed to actually get up with. At 5:47, 13 minutes before your third alarm, the one that tells you you overslept and you're definitely going to be late now, you get out of bed to go to work. At the good company, with the great benefits, with the important position you earned after years of working your way up. But as you brush your teeth and look in the mirror, something doesn't feel right, and you can't quite let it go. You're making more money than most humans ever, certainly more than your parents did. You have way more education, and even better, you have access to more comforts of life than anyone in your bloodline. Cold? Grab a blanket and bump the heat up. Hungry? You don't even need to leave the house to get anything you want to eat. Clean water? Everywhere, standard. Your options are sparkling, bottled, tapped, with or without ice. Sometimes it's the good ice. If you know, you know. And if the place is fancy enough, you get a lemon. All this human progress frees you up to do meaningful, modern, productive work, and somehow you are not where you should be with your money. This is not a coincidence. In fact, it feels like it's by design. This is the paycheck trap. And if you feel stuck, you can get out of it. Meet Kim. She's 35 and makes $130,000 a year. On paper, she's in the top 20% of earners in the United States, even higher for the world. She should feel rich, but she doesn't. Kim gets paid every 2 weeks. That's $5,000 before taxes. After taxes, it's $3,618.12. Now here's where the trap shows itself. The system doesn't offer Kim a choice. It doesn't say, here's your paycheck, treat yourself. Actually, it's smarter than that. It divides up her money before she even knows it. Rent takes $1,500. That's just under half of her after-tax income. Groceries and dining out, $700. The car, insurance, and gas, $800. Toss in electricity, water, and heat at $300. Cell phone, fiber optic internet, and streaming services. Come on, guys. Kim needs to watch Love is Blind. Another $250. When she sees her paycheck, she's already spent $3,550. She has $68.12 before her next pay period. But here's the deception. Kim doesn't feel like she's in a trap. She's got a car that isn't breaking down on her and will reliably start in the morning. She's a pretty nice place to live. She's by all accounts successful. The system gives you enough comfort, just enough and not a penny more, to stop you from asking why you're not building real wealth. This is the paycheck trap's first way. The illusion of success done so through invisible costs that look to you and others like the real deal. When money comes in neat, organized windows like every 2 weeks and exits in small chunks toward useful, necessary things, your brain does not recognize how close to underwater you are. A lifestyle is not wealth. Now onto the paycheck trap's second wave, the thing that actually keeps you barely above water. And this is where it takes a turn for the worse. This entire system is designed to keep you stuck and entirely reliant on that paycheck. You're told to get educated, learn so you can do. Of course you enroll. And because it's expensive, you take on loans. Now you're on LinkedIn and emailing recruiters because you have 6 months before those payments start and you need a job to get money to pay them back. Eventually you find one, assuming AI hasn't taken it and assuming you keep it because companies have to let people go when it gets tight. The position has a great salary, maybe $80,000, but the second you accept that offer, something happens. Your lifestyle instantly inflates to match your income. Experts call this lifestyle inflation, but it's also the paycheck trap's second wave. Now you're ordering more drinks on the weekends, buying the more expensive flights with more legroom, softer seats, and more convenient flight times. Then you get the job at $90,000, and suddenly you can afford a way nicer apartment. How are you supposed to find a partner in life if your apartment doesn't have gray wood floors and a glass stovetop? Luxury. But it's close to the highway and you gotta commute to the office still. I get it, I'm not judging. Then the car you're driving isn't as reliable as it once was. Your payment doubles because interest rates and car prices both went up. But it's okay now because you're making $100,000 and you're in an even nicer place on a higher floor. There is something about being above people in a high rise that is so appealing. Floor to ceiling windows and scenic views cost more, and the car you're in isn't as nice as the other ones in the parking garage. Time for the Audi because you want people to know you have money, but you're different. We haven't even gotten to vacations yet. Every bump in salary feels like more freedom, more flexibility. I mean, Objectively, your life is literally getting easier. You haven't worried about the price of gas or groceries in weeks, months. You don't even remember, actually. But every time you get more, the trap tightens. Here's why. Your lifestyle is tied to your job because you need that salary to buy the stuff you have gotten accustomed to. You have a shiny pair of golden handcuffs. Trapped, yes, but gold is gold, drip is drip. The messed up part about this is that everyone who experiences this did this to themselves. The system didn't force you, me, or anyone for that matter. The option was given and our brains did the rest. Most of us see progress as upward momentum, job, career, stuff, not increasing our net worth. CEOs, senior partners, managers, people making hundreds of thousands, even millions a year can be just as trapped as someone making $40,000 if their lifestyle requires the same amount. A salary doesn't determine your freedom. The space between income and expenses does. The system we all operate in is designed to keep that space as tiny as possible. Over $1 trillion a year is spent on advertising with one goal: to get you to trade your money for something else. Let's talk about Jason. Classic tech bro in college, moved out west, made 6 figures starting, and he's a smart guy. He's worth it. But Jason is terribly unhappy. The tech world is brutal, and even though he's moved up, made progress, the work and stress compounds. Every time he thinks about quitting, he has chest pains and headaches, and his tummy hurts just a little bit. Why? Of course, he's got a $1.4 million mortgage in San Francisco for a house that was built 200 years ago and is already falling apart, 2 luxury car payments, and a kid in private school. And just in time, Jason gets a $20,000 raise. Relieved, grateful, the chest pains and headaches went away overnight, and he managed to see a doctor to get his stress ulcer in his GI tract under control. Until his kid needed braces and his wisdom tooth he never got taken care of in college started acting up again. Jason somehow got paid more and still barely has his head above water. This is the system's finest work: need-based spending. You're not building wealth when your salary increases. You're increasing your obligations faster than your income grows. And the difference between something you need and something you want puts you in a very tough position. The people making $30,000 a year often report financial stress just like people making $300,000 a year. How does that happen? The system is designed that way so that you're always on the hamster wheel, spending more and more with no way to catch up. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're predictable, controllable, paid just enough to not riot in the streets. And it's not just you, it's everyone. You need the job, which means you can't take risks like starting a business. Not even just a side thing. Investing in your own ideas and turning them into something you own and control is impossible because your cash is already someone else's. Somewhere on someone's Excel spreadsheet, you are a source of dollars to meet a bottom line. What if you quit your job tomorrow? How many months before you felt the pain? If the answer is less than 3 months, you're trapped. And you're not alone. Over 60% of people can't maintain their life for more than 1 month without a paycheck. 40% of people making over $100,000 are in the same position. 1 month away from a financial crisis every single day. That is not what you work so hard for and continue to work for. The paycheck trap makes you believe this is normal. This is the life that most people are living. Work, get, pay. Work hard, get compensated, pay for things that are useful and valuable, and make life easier and more enjoyable, and of course, things you need. The second you realize your salary is keeping you busy and not much else, it all changes. It's a tough thing to realize, but the mindset shifts. You still keep asking, how do you make more? But you also start asking where your money grows. Terms like assets are now in the mix. Obligations and liabilities have a much broader definition. I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow, and I'm certainly not saying feel bad for spending money either. Far from it. I am saying the first step to changing our destination, to building wealth, is awareness that we're off course. So what are the actionable things we can do to get out of the paycheck trap? Of course, I can't give you financial advice. I'm just a guy on your screen, but I can tell you what I personally am doing. The first thing is still going to work. A paycheck is an income. It's a financial tool, most people's, me included, #1 tool to build wealth. A $200,000 salary is income, but $50,000 in savings and investments is very different. These days, one is at best temporary, the other is solid foundation to build off and lean against when needed. Second, playing solid defense. Cutting expenses ruthlessly is one strategy. Personally, I'm making small changes to things that don't add immense value to my life. Mostly this means cutting out fast food. Seriously, when did Taco Bell get so expensive? I'm still buying a few luxuries here and there, but I also recognized a long time ago that in today's world, with the increasing cost of living, life is simply trade offs. A comfortable retirement, money in the bank, freedom is probably going to cost me a ton of little conveniences today and over the next few years that I probably won't remember anyway. And third is play more offense. That's being more productive at work, learning new skills, smarter investment habits, and of course, more videos on this channel to help anyone watching do the same. The road to 1 million subs and dollars is happening as we speak. My name is Raj. On this channel, we talk about money. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you for the next video.